Hello people, welcome to the lesson plan video for signals from Circleon. This is a lesson for level 1 students and it's based on visual pattern recognition. And before we move into the lesson, we have a very interesting story that we are going to share with our students. First, let's see what the story is about. So there is a very distant planet called the Circleon, and this planet has been sending some strange signals to the Earth, and the Earth's telescopes have been receiving it. The signals that we received it looked like this in the first minute, second minute, third minute, and so on. Now, our scientists are a little bit worried as to what will we do or how will these signals look like if we keep on receiving it for a very long time. So, this is a story that we share with our students first. Now, let's see what is the big problem that we have here. How many circles will be in the signal in the 59th minute? Yeah. So, this is a big problem that we have. And now we'll move into the agenda. We'll skim through it once, understand what are the different sections and what are the important things we'll be doing in those sections. Would request all of you to pause here. I'm taking a pause here so that you can read through it once. Yes. So the section we have is a notice and wonder routine where we introduce the story of Circleon. And after that, we ask the students to observe the pattern and write down any question they have or anything they notice in the images. After that, the students are going to extend the pattern to minute 4 and minute 5, where they will visually and verbally explain how did they see the pattern growing. In the next 16 minutes, students are going to predict for 11th minute and they will verify their prediction as well. After that, the students are going to solve the big problem, which is to predict for the 59th minute. And lastly, we have a closing where we do a reflection of what we have learned in the lesson. Now let's move into our lesson. As you already know, this image is already given in the student handout. Based on the observation of this, they're going to answer two questions, write down three things that they notice here, and any one question that they might have here. Yeah. And this section is for a total of 10 minutes. This is how the time division looks like. And by the end of this section, during the large group sharing, make sure that all of the students align with same terms as to how do they divide or how do they describe the signals in each minute. Yeah. So for that, ask them questions like what will you call the circle or part of the circle that is not a full circle. So you call it a half circle. And what makes a full circle? When two half circles come together, they make a full circle. So let's take the example of figure 1 here. How will we describe the number of circles in figure 1? So for that, there is one full circle and a half circle. That means 1.5 circles are there in minute 1. So we do this to ensure that the students understand how to describe the pattern or describe the signal. And by the end of this notice and wonder routine, we establish that the signals or the number of circles in the signals are increasing every minute. And as we conclude this section, we pause our big problem, which is how many circles will be there in the signal in the 59th minute. Yeah. And here the students will be introduced to the strategy of solving a simpler problem. For that, the students are going to extend the pattern to minute 4 and minute 5, where they will actually draw it and encourage them to use different colors to shade the new parts so that they can distinguish the new parts of the figures or the signals from the old parts. And they will verbally and visually describe how do they see the pattern growing here. While the students are working on this, walk around the room and observe what they are doing, what they are writing, and what they are drawing. Now we are going to predict for 11th minute. For that, we have 16 minutes. The students are going to work in their pairs where they actually predict for 11th minute. So remind the students what actually prediction means. While they are predicting, they will not be drawing here. Once they have predicted, we ask them to verify their prediction by drawing the signals from 6th minute, 11th minute, so that they can understand if their prediction was actually correct or incorrect. Now, after that, we have a large group sharing where we invite the students to share the different strategies they have used to predict for the number of circles in the signal in the 11th minute. The students are bound to come up with different strategies. Now we will see a few strategies our students might come up with. So the first strategy is repeated addition. If you look at the table with the signals, it's very much understood that every minute the number of circles in each signal is increasing by 1.5 circles every time. So that means if we keep on adding 1.5 circles, 1.5 circles till the 11th minute, we will get the number of circles in the signal in the 11th minute. Now let's see what is the next strategy the students might use. Strategy of counting by 3 every 2 minutes. So how are they doing it? So the students will understand that the number of circles increase by 3 every 2 minutes. Yeah. So if they keep on skip counting by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, by that time they have done the skip counting 5 times. They reach to the number of circles as 15. Yeah. Now to reach the 11th minute, they will add 1.5 to 15. So that makes a total of 16.5 circles in the signal in the 11th minute. This is another strategy our students might probably come up. Now we move into the third strategy our students can come up with. The strategy is that we add the minute number with the half of the minute. So for example, let's take the example of minute 8 here. So if we have minute 8, we take the number 8 and we make the half of it, which is 4. 8 plus 4, 12. That means there will be 12 circles in the 8th minute. Now, if we look at the minute 11, we take the number 11 and we make the half of it, which is 5.5. And when we add them both, 11 and 5.5, we get 16.5. So this is another strategy which can be used to predict for 11th minute or for any numbers. And there are more fascinating strategies. We request all of you to go through the teacher reference ones to understand the other strategies which our students might share. Yeah. Now we are going to predict for 59th minute, which is our big problem. And for that we have 12 minutes. In the first 5 minutes of the work time, we are setting a timer and telling them, hey, we are going to work individually in the first 5 minutes where you come up with the prediction. After that, in the next 5 minutes, they will discuss with their partner. They will share their prediction and the strategy they use. And there, we also encourage the students to verify their predictions using the different other strategies which was shared previously by other students. Yeah. So with that, we have come to the end of our interesting story of the Circleon, and we have solved the big problem for our scientists. So we move into the closing now. In the first 5 minutes, we do a quick recap. Here we ask the students to discuss with their partners what are the steps we followed throughout our lesson and use cold calling technique, call out students and make a list of the steps we followed here throughout our lesson. In the next 5 minutes, we do an individual reflection where we give them a question which is already given in their handout. Please do refer to the handout for the reflection question. Once the students are done with the reflection question, ask them discuss with their partners what they have written. Yeah. So this was the lesson of signals from Circleon. Here, so when you are concluding the lesson, appreciate the students by saying that, hey, we have done a great job because we helped the big scientists out there. Ask them to tap on their back and say, hey, we are proud of you because it will make them feel a sense of accomplishment. So we hope that all of you and all your students enjoy this lesson. Please do share your feedbacks and thoughts on this lesson. And do not forget to click pictures as well. So have fun. Bye bye.